everyone, it's Jazz, it's the West Ham Irons channel, and it's the first transfer window news show for Jazz in this January 2024 transfer window. I love transfer windows, as you know. Didn't really grow up with transfer windows. It used to be a transfer deadline. So the transfer deadline used to be around third week of March, I think, third week of March. And up to that point, you could sign whoever you wanted, right? No restriction. But after around March, you couldn't. The window closed. And on that particular day was kind of like what we get now, a bit of madness. Particularly remember Julian Dix, transfer window, March, April 1980. Oh my God. Was he 88? 87, 88 when Julian Dix came in from Birmingham. That was a transfer deadline day signing, I remember, from John Lyle. And obviously since then, yeah, the deadline, the two windows has been in place for as far as we can remember now, isn't it? Especially for you young folks anyway. But yeah, like I said many times before, signing players, transfer gossip, I love it all. And I'm sure you guys love it as well. And I'll be trying to bring you shows every day as soon as I hear some news. Obviously, when you look at all the different online media outlets, newspapers, YouTube channels, Sky and all those kind of things, you do have to filter some of the news because a lot of it is nonsense. I mean, only on kind of, was it News Now West Ham, which is kind of collects all the news into one platform. Yeah, it's linking us with Brazilian, Argentine midfielders. Oh yeah, if West Ham could get a deal done at 30 million, that'd be snip. I can tell you right now, we and not many other clubs are going to have that much money to spend, right? The financial fair play is getting tighter and tighter. And whether you like it or not is here. I think one of the main reasons for that is that UEFA, Europe, whatever, they don't like UK British teams to be as powerful in Europe as we're beginning to show at the moment. You know, us and Man City won European Cups last season, and you can even see now when we play, even in Europa last year, Conference this year, the opposition is piss poor. Even though we're nowhere near top four, right? In our own domestic league, we're about 6th, 7th, right? But even then, in being from that standard, we're way better than most teams out there. The Italian league shit, Spanish league shit, German league apart from one or two clubs is shit. So we're getting stronger. We got all the money. Pros and cons. Pros are, yeah, we can sign players, but then we pay double. We get ripped off, like I keep mentioning, linked to the transfers. So whoever we want, and they know the window's restricted, they know we got the money, they know we're desperate. So all these foreign clubs, they rip us. And in return, when the players become flops, like I mentioned, you try to sell them back, you can't even get 10% of your outlay back. It's that bad. Oh, we got no money, no. Oh, can we have them on loan for 1 or 2 years, and if we win the league, win the Champions League, we'll give you half the money back. It's that kind of scenario. Conclusion, again, is let's be patient. Let's put the trust in Tim, David Moyes, Sullivan, because we really have to, if not already done so in the past, we really have to make sure our due diligence is done really, really well. Because you can see the results of perhaps panic buys, perhaps players we didn't know who they were. They've come in. And I think it's more or less when we've got 10, 15 million pound left in the kitty, we've just gone and got anyone, right? And it's suffered. Vlasic, panic signing, absolutely got no money in return for him, right? Kehrer, who we're going to speak about, absolute flop. And there's so many. You can see them on the bench. You can see them even not on the bench, right? And we've really got to think about every penny that goes out of the club is spent on players that David Moyes will use. Otherwise, there's no point. And when you add up, the whole financial package, especially people like Danny Ings, it's a lot of millions down the drain. A lot of millions. And again, you can have a go at Sullivan, but it's his money, and it's not good to see money go down the drain like that, really. So I don't really report on silly things like we're going to spend 30 million on an unknown South American player from the Brazilian Argentinian league. I don't think so. I don't think so. So whatever news I will bring you will be filtered, will be interesting, will be kind of hopefully got a good chance of it happening, or certainly interesting in terms of selling players, buying players, that kind of thing, really. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. The first thing we want to start off with is obviously Fabrizio Romano, the number one source for transfer gossip, the number one source for credibility, that kind of thing. Confidence in him is good. He's kind of quite good with his news. And that goes back to Sky Sports News, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Sky Sports News, breaking news, Sky Sport News, transfer window gossip news used to be the number one source for all mainstream information. And it's kind of, I know Darmish is there, does a lot with our club and other channels and things like that. And I think he's going to be doing his regular kind of thing with the West Ham Way channel, who, you know, I love those guys. I'm ex-employee in Dave Wright, so Patreon, go in there. West Ham Way channel, by far the number one, West Ham news related channel, podcast, call it what you want, out there for me in terms of how exclusive they are. Even in terms of team news, they get it before anyone else. Everyone else just copies it. They've got inside sources going back many, many years, and more or less again, he could put out a lot of news out there, but a lot of it would be real pure gossip. So he'll only put it out there when he double checks with many, many of his sources. And that's the way to be. He's a very good guy, and good information from him, really. So back to Fabrizio Romano. First bit of thing for Jazz to discuss is not buying, but actually someone going out the door. It's Kehrer. Our 12 million signing last year from PSG. If you remember what I said about him, I didn't know much about him, but he came as a bit of a utility player. Can play right back, can play centre back, very athletic, reasonable pace on him, that kind of thing, really. But for one reason or another, with us, it's not really kind of worked out, really. He's 27 years old. He was 27 in September. I'm just going to go and check on his stats for us in terms of how many appearances he's made. So for West Ham United, when I look at it in total, let's have a look. So 50 appearances. Wow, I didn't even know there's that many, really. Wow. So 50 appearances for West Ham, 2 goals, 2 assists, 9 yellow cards. I didn't really think he played 50 games for us, has he? Let me just double check. Hang on a minute. I'm actually going to split it by season, see if that's more accurate. I want to double check this, really. So 2024, 4 games, 27 last year. I don't know where they're getting. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So last year, basically, everyone, there was an appearance in 2 in the qualifiers of Europa, 1 in the FA Cup, 27 in the Premier League, 2 assists, 8 in the Conference League, 5 in Europa this year, 3 in the EFL Cup, 4, and so it all kind of tallies to about 50, really, for him. And like I said, he kind of came in from PSG, and the history was that he was kind of, when he was about 21, 22, 23, he came with a huge reputation, and PSG and Barcelona were fighting over him, and obviously he went for 20, 30 million at that time. Didn't really settle at PSG. And for me, again, if you're a defender, I don't care if you're fullback, I don't care if you're centre-back, I don't care if you're sweeper, you've got to be able to defend, first of all. Above anything else, above your silky skills, your passing ability, all that crap, your dribbling ability, you have to have the ability to be a pure defender. Mark a player. Foresee situations and events. Read the game. I don't care how much pace you've got. I don't care how tall you are. You've got to be proper defender. And this guy is one of those, like Agard, who's not. He's a utility player, which for me means bullshit. Bit like Fornells, what's your best position, mate? I don't know. He could probably get away as one of 3 centre-backs if he played a wing-back formation, which we're really going to do at the moment, right? But as a pure right-back, as one of 2 centre-backs in a flat back 4, this man's a liability. He's actually slightly worse than Agard, I think, in a flat back 4. Europa Conference, he might get by with 6 or 7 out of 10 sometimes, but in a Premier League starting match, week in, week out, he's got so many mistakes in him, right? He just can't read the game. He's often found a bit of a Masuaku, really, a poor Masuaku or better Masuaku, whatever. So I don't know who scouted him. He doesn't seem to be a David Moyes type of player for me. I think it was a case of we haven't got 30 million, we haven't got 20 million. We've got 10, 11 million in the kitty. Let's just look for anyone. And PSG at the time had to get players out of the books due to financial fair play, whatever. And they done a deal. They thought he's worth 20. We done a deal for 12. Romano is saying that he's basically going to complete a deal to Monaco this week. Unfortunately, like I said, going back to foreign clubs having no cash, it's a loan deal worth 500,000 euros. That's fucking bullshit. With a clause, with options in it, if they do this, if they do that, if that could happen, and then it'll be 11 million euros. So I doubt if this will become permanent. It could be a case of they use him for the rest of the year. If they don't, reach their objections, whatever's in the clause, like qualifying for Europe, blah, 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 then they're not going to buy him, and we'll end up giving him back to them for 2-3 million. So again, it's all about the wages as well, 50, 60k a week or whatever he's on. Absolutely bollocks, really. So that was kind of the first news I was going to mention for you guys. So let me just put that on the screen for you as well, and you can see it, really. Let me just share my screen. Got so many bloody screens open here. There we go. So that's kind of Fabrizio Romano confirming the news on him. Let's go to, let me just close that screen down 1 minute. Hang on a minute. Yeah, let me just close that down a minute. So let's go to the next news. You forgot about this name, didn't you? Brereton Diaz, former Blackburn striker, plays for Chile. He could become the first signing of Chris Wilder's second spell at Sheffield United on loan from Villarreal. So he was a free transfer, everyone. 24-year-old, contract had expired. He scored 47 goals in 177 games for kind of Blackburn. So let me just put his picture up for you guys as well. Where's he gone? There we go. There he is. So, yeah. Brereton Diaz, 24 years old, Spanish club. Yeah, so Villarreal got him on free, didn't hardly play any games, and he netted 22 goals in the 2021-22 season. The weird thing with him, I don't understand why we didn't go for him, because I saw him in the FA Cup game that we played against Blackburn. He scored a goal. They won the game, I think, near extra time or in extra time. And I always look at players in terms of what position they play in. So let me show you something right now. So let me just go into that again. So if you have a look at the positions that he played in Blackburn, it actually suits West Ham. Let me just show you a couple of games quickly. Going to share another screen with you. Yes, have a look at this. So when you have a look at this is typically April game, Blackburn at home. Don't worry about the result. So they play kind of 4-2-3-1. He plays on that left side where we've got the issue. So he's got goals in him. He's stocky. He's strong. He can hold the ball up. He can pass it. He can certainly play up front as well. So that's kind of him playing on the left side of a 4-2-3-1 where we've got an issue. And then let me show you the other side to him, another formation. So have a look at this against our beloved Millwall. Yeah, so lots of goals in this game. And if you have a look, they're playing 4-3-3, and he's again playing on the left of the three. So as you can clearly see, he can play 4-2-3-1 on that troublesome left wing, where we have an issue. And then he can play 4-3-3, and he can play up front as well by himself. So I don't know why we never ever went in for this guy. The age is good. He was a free transfer. He's coming on loan now. Why didn't we? I don't get it. I don't understand this one. He's worth a punt. But despite that, if he's not that good at Sheffield United, don't write him off again, because Sheffield United are shit. Any striker there is going to struggle. They're going to get no service, nothing. But it's going to be interesting. It looks like the deal's going to be done. So that's one I think that got out of our hands, considering that us, alongside a lot of other clubs with financial fair play, there's not a lot of cash out there. And like I said, let's use the loan market if we can. I mean, talking about loan markets, you've probably seen the rumours that Arsenal want Tony on the loan. Because they've already got their goalkeeper on a loan, they can't do it. They have to either buy the goalie permanently and then go back in again. So these loan things are getting very, very strict from the league, really. So that was that. Let's go to Guirassy, the Guinea striker Guirassy. So let me just share my screen again with you guys. There we go. Can you see that? There we go. So, yeah, this is the guy I think we should put all our money towards, really. Couple of reasons for that. He plays for Stuttgart. He's 6'2". Serhou Guirassy. He's going to play in the AFCON for Guinea. They're not really rated. They are kind of predicted to go out early, so he'll be back. If you look at the Bundesliga league table, everyone, Stuttgart are sitting third. In the top scorers in Bundesliga, everyone, he's sitting behind Harry Kane with 17 goals, 1 assist, with Harry Kane ahead in 21 goals. So that again is very, very impressive. If you have a look at the formation, everyone, that Stuttgart plays in, one example I can see is 4-4-2 with him playing up front, right? That's one from kind of Christmas time. The other one I can see is around October time, is 4-2-3-1, him playing up front on his own, and he's got a 9.7 rating in that. So let me just share my screen and show you that, guys. Very, very impressive. There we go. Have a look at that. So this was a game kind of in, what's the date of it? It was, October, 7th October, Stuttgart 1-3-1. Yeah, he scored a hat-trick, 4-2-3-1, playing up front by himself, 9.7, everyone. 9.7. I think the problem is, the clause, the release clause is about 17, 18 million euros. That's about 15, 16 million quid. The sources are telling me he's on our list, and Tim is working on it, right? And if we could get this guy in, it's going to be hard. But I say hard, but listen, we're in the Premier League. We're 6th. We're in Europa. We're in the FA Cup. We are kind of in London, right? There's a lot of boxes ticked there. We got Kudus in there now from that region, right? We got a lot of other players who probably might know him, right? It could be good. I mean, you've got what's his name? Mavropanos has come from the German league, from Stuttgart. I think he came from Stuttgart, didn't he? There we go. But there could be a lot of competition at that price, right? We got to move quick, and we got to take a punt at 18 million. He's been burning it up last 2-3 years, mate. I think that's one we need to look out for. The next bit of news for you guys is kind of Max Kilmans. Don't know too much about him. What I do know, he's about 26, 27. Came from Maidenhead. Wolves signed him from Maidenhead a couple of years ago. But the problem is, he's kind of a young Dawson type, bit bulky. But the other problem I've got is Wolves don't play in our formation. They play with 3 centre-backs. So in all the examples I was trying to dig out for you guys, he plays on the right side of 3 centre-backs with Zuma in the middle. And he had a 6.9 game against us, I think, if you look at it. His ratings ain't that bad, actually. Yeah, he does all right with Dawson in the middle. Will Dawson recommend him to West Ham? I don't know. 26, 27 years old. Obviously, we need to get a lot of players out the door. Cornet, Danny Ings, Kehrer hopefully going. Got to look at Ben Johnson's situation, haven't we, everyone? That kind of thing, really. So a lot of players that we need to ship out, and we do need a lot of centre backs. We can't rely on Oggy, and Zuma can't play every other week, as you know. If he comes in, then that probably means Agar's going to go, I reckon. I don't know, because Agar's holding up a lot of wages. A lot of money tied up in that deal. Over 30 million, everyone. It's gone down the pot, mate. I don't know what we're going to get back. So he's another one. The last one is, Ian Matson, Dutch player, plays primarily for Chelsea as a left back or left wing back. But while I'm chatting to you, I'm just going to check how many games this guy's played, because he's not really featured, and he could be one that we perhaps could get on loan. But the problem with that is these clubs only decide during the last few days of the window, really, and then we don't want to wait that long, do we? So I'm just trying to get him up on it. He's not coming up. Oh, there we go. Ian Matson, left back or left wing back. He's 21 years old, everyone. In March, he's going to be 22. 13 caps for Holland under 21s with 1 goal. Just going to have a look at his appearances by seasons, really. I don't want to tally it up because then I'll know if he's played last couple of years for Chelsea. Apparently, he's played 12 times in the Premier League. I didn't know that. 3 times in the EFL Cup, 39 times on loan in the Championship at Burnley, looks like. Is that Burnley? Let me see what club that is. I think it's Burnley. Yeah. So 39 times at Burnley last year, 4 goals, 6 assists. Then on loan the year before that to, let's figure out, where was he on loan to? Coventry. So on loan at Coventry 2 years ago, 40 goals again. That's telling me he doesn't get injured a lot. So the last 3 seasons, he's kind of played 34, 40, 39 times, 12 times this year. We've been linked with him for a while, right? And he's a left back stroke left wing back. And that sounds good to me. I think this good stable player. I think a bit of a mini younger version of Emerson maybe, who's kind of been ripping it for us, really. So I'm kind of happy with that, really. I think Diaz, that one's gone for some reason out of our hands. Matson will be a cheap loan deal. Just have a look him out. I don't think Chelsea can hold on to him. They've got a lot of players they need to get rid of and rotate, really. Max Kilman, not sure about that. He's not going to come cheap. He just signed a 4 or 5 year deal with Wolves. They're going to want 20, 30 million. We ain't got that kind of money. So forget about Kilman. Matson, Guirassy, that one could be quite interesting, I think. Those two, because of the money situation. Yeah, I think Matson will be a loan deal. Guirassy's 15, 16 million sterling. And then again, you could say give you half now, half later. So that one could happen. But Stuttgart are 3rd in the league, going for Champions League. It's up to him, really, if he wants to make that move in January. Apart from that, clubs are interested in Olisa at Palace, 22-year-old winger. Very, very good. What I've seen of him, including a goal at London Stadium a couple of years ago, I think. Werner, the Chelsea Frank Lampard love child lookalike, absolute flop. Don't want him, but clubs are looking at him, bringing him back in again, really. So that's kind of the news at the moment, filtering away. Tim is busy. Tim is abroad. Obviously, he was busy in Monaco trying to do the Kehrer deal. Don't know if we're going to pick up a Monaco player and return or not. I don't know. But we are working hard. It's literally only the 4th of Jan. And I'm very much confident because Tim is here. If Tim wasn't here, it's going to be the usual shake it all about from David Moyes for 2 fucking weeks of the window. If fuck all happens, Sullivan goes on TalkSport, so us jumping up and down, telling him it's his fault. Fans get off his back. Then we panic buy. La 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 la. So let's see what happens. What do we need? I've spoken about it before. A lot of things we need. Perhaps you agree with me. We need some kind of striker up there. Definitely. You saw it the other day at Brighton. There's nothing out there. We need someone up front. We need a number 10 who can kind of complement Paqueta. I felt if we're not going to sign a left-sided winger, then put Kudus or Bowen up there and get this number 10 in the middle. Or perhaps, I don't know. I mean, if we get that striker, and we could perhaps play Bowen, Kudus and Antonio in the 3. But then I don't know, because I think Ward-Prowse is going to keep his place in the team alongside Alvarez, and perhaps Souček will fall out. I don't know what's going to happen. We need help at fullbacks and in the back 4. Areola, thankfully, he's picking up the form. He's looking good. Long may that carry on, because I really need to make up my mind on him. So that's kind of getting good. Emerson's nice little surprise for me this season as well. So yeah, we're getting there, but we need some bodies through the door. We need some bodies throughout the door, really. But again, I'll be back as soon as I hear anything else happening. But apart from that, it will be a daily show. Again, bringing you news that's realistic to happen, that's interesting. Nothing, I'm not going to come out these stupid South American players, 40 million there, 30 million there. None of that's going to happen. I just remember talking about South America. This time last year, we signed Luis Yao, the Brazilian centre back that went under the radar for about £1 million. He's not been good enough to start or anywhere near start, and we're thinking of putting him on loan somewhere. So it looks like a bullshit signing at the moment anyway. If a player ain't ready next 2-3 years, what the fuck's the point? Anyway, that's me. That's my waffle over. So yeah, keep subscribing, keep watching. I'm getting better slowly. Still a bit of cold running in the background, as you can see. So hopefully I need a couple of more days and I'll be back to normal, really. So you guys have a nice Thursday, what's left of it, and I will be back with a show soon. So take care.